anytime you're starting to build a vehicle that hasn't been built before, you know that there's going to be problems. You're going to have to recalibrate your strategy to make this thing possible. When the Underdog rolled in, it was a 1972 stock Maverick.
I was scratching my head for a little bit, wondering, okay, you're choosing to do a Maverick, all right, what are we gonna do with it? And I knew we were gonna do something interesting.
I mean, from 70 until now, so much has changed.
What's popular right now in the tuner market is the Japanese styling. Rocket Bunny did the fender flares in the body kit, side skirts, front bumper. So we have that going. We're gonna be putting fender mirrors on it. It has the styling of a 72 GTR. It has the classic Ford styling. I mean, it's a Maverick that doesn't really look like a Maverick anymore, but the guys from the muscle car scene in the 60s and 70s, they're gonna look at it and I know that car, that's a Maverick, but it looks like a GT500 or GT350 or something like that. It has that Shelby look.
The biggest milestone, I would say, is the engine in this vehicle. Historically, you look at displacement to deliver performance. There's a saying that says there's no replacement for displacement. But that's not necessarily the world that we live in, and things have changed a lot.
Everybody's done a 302 in a Maverick. People have done 5.0 Coyote motors. We want to do something different. The Ecoboost line of motors is the go-to for us right now. Small displacement, high output, more power with a turbocharger, and they're fuel efficient. It's the new generation. Once we decided on a motor, I had the data from Ford. Utilizing the 3D scanner as well, I was able to scan the engine, pull out the points I wanted, and then I scanned the engine bay of the Maverick, placed the motor, found the crank center line, where we wanted the transmission to end, as far back as we can get the engine, maintain a good center of gravity on the car. Once the engine was placed, we went back and forth with GReddy a little bit, mocked up a few turbos.
How turbocharger works, basically, it takes the exhaust energy coming out of the engine and then spins the turbine wheel inside the turbo. And there's a hot side and a cold side, the cold side being the compressor side. As the exhaust energy flows out of the engine, it spins the turbine wheel and basically spins the compressor wheel, which compresses the air because it's spinning so fast from the energy that's coming out of the engine, and basically creates boost. That boost is forced into the engine back again through the intake manifold. It gets cooled through the intercooler, makes it more dense, goes into the intake manifold, and as you're pushing that air in, there's more air to combust. So there's more energy, meaning more power. So without turbocharger, the engine just sucks the air in, but now you're forcing the air in, so more dense, compact, pressurized air into the engine for more boom, basically. So when people ask about like how much, boost are you running, and they say 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Our race car runs 36 pounds of boost. That's the amount of air that you're forcing into the engine to make it explode more.
The sound of the drift cars, and I also like all the smoke comes out. And then that smells like both in the shoe store and also firewood. Yeah, the smell is pretty good. When I look at the race and look at how they drift on the track, they're driving on the track. And then when the car just drift by and all the tires just rise up and all the ashes and all the smoke, that's the thing that makes me want to become a racer.
That's my car.
And when Tony talks about wanting to be a race car driver, I think that's fantastic. I think he has the skill set to be a successful race car driver. But the path that he chooses to take toward that will ultimately open up so many opportunities of other things that I think may bring him equal or more fulfillment. And it's going to be wonderful to watch him go through that process.
Every day when Tony comes into the shop, he comes over and checks out what I'm working on the computer. He'll pull up a chair and he'll just sit and watch or ask as many questions as possible. He wraps his head around the design aspect, I think, very, very well. He's quick with it. He tells me all the time he wants to be a race car driver. Okay, there's a lot more to race car driving than just driving the car. So I talk with him about Formula One all the time. We talk about the engineers who are leading those teams. They have a master's degree in mechanical engineering most of the time.
He goes to the market every week to buy those cars. Now he has almost 300 cars. Every night Tony packs up his car and every morning he put them out on his bed. He doesn't have his favorite, he left them all.
When it comes to youth engagement in SEMA, there's really, I think, a couple of different components to that. First and foremost is igniting that passion for automotive enthusiasm. It's finding ways that we can engage and expose new enthusiasts to the entire world of the automotive performance aftermarket. But at the same time, I think one of the most meaningful things that we can do is work with a lot of the younger folks today, and it's giving them the experience. Because experience builds confidence. And confidence is what really allows you to go out and really take control of your future.
You say when you're 17 or 18, you realize that Formula One is not your career and you know how to become professional.
I think you really have to picture yourself on where you want to be. For example, if you want to become a Formula One driver, if you want to be an IndyCar driver or a sports car driver or even NASCAR, every series has a different path to it. You know, a lot of the time it's about timing. Even if you don't get that opportunity, if you try hard enough, I mean, there's different angle. You also have to really understand what's good for you at the time. You know, in racing, certainly it's not about just being skillful. So that's why I'm saying that, you know, trying to envision yourself when and where you want to be is really important.
The amazing thing about customizing cars is that I've seen throughout my entire life that, you know, there is a car sitting out in a field, a tree may be growing through it, grass may be growing around it or whatever, and someone will bring it out of the field because they have this vision that I can't see, but someone else may see, and they bring it out of that field or whatever, and they're gonna totally redo it back to original stock or to customize it or whatever their vision is. It's just amazing how someone can take from one point to the other and it just comes to life with a whole new personality, so to speak.
And I think that this build is a little bit more reflective of where our industry is going versus most people when they build, they're building more based upon nostalgia or where the industry has been. And when we can take a vehicle that is essentially overlooked and underestimated, using technology, using passion and excitement, and engaging the youth of today, it's something that those within the enthusiast or performance community may not have ever seen.
So we'll give it a little gas.
When I was like 5, when I was like a baby, I didn't have chance to get into cars, get into racing. People in China, they care more about like, getting money than what you really like. We just forced to go to school and learn the things that just everyone learn the same thing and then think the same way, but I don't have that chance. But I feel lucky that I can come here and I have that chance. Other than all my friends in China, I have the chance to be here, and even though it's a late start, but I started, right?